Have you ever gotten super excited when it's finally payday? You begin to see some of your balance in your bank account begin to rise, but then you just see that slowly dwindle back down closer to the $0 mark as the month progresses and you begin having to pay off those nasty bills, whatever they may be. Well, in this video, I want to try to help some of you guys in terms of saving up for your dream down payment on your dream home, maybe your dream vacation that you want to pay off, or maybe just some extra money to left over to invest or save up for an emergency fund. What's up guys, my name is Josh and welcome to my Financial Freedom YouTube channel. In this video, I would like to help some of you guys finally begin to pad your savings account so you have some extra money to left over to either invest. Maybe you're trying to save up for a down payment on your home, which there's a lot of cost involved in that, or maybe you just want to go on a nice vacation later this year. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Step 1, create a budget and stick to it. Yes, I know this sounds boring, a budget. Yeah, who wants to do that? But guys, this is extremely, extremely important. I cannot place a larger emphasis on this than step number 1. What you absolutely need to do is first find out what your income is. So whatever your take-home pay is, find out what that is on a monthly basis. So if that's $2,000 per month, write down $2,000 per month. That should be your top line. If you make $3,000 per month, that's $3,000 a month. Remember, we are not counting the taxes taken out, so we're going to be counting your income after all the taxes are taken out. Secondly, we want to figure out what all of your expenses are. The first thing you want to do is come up with your fixed expenses. So these are going to be the expenses that you're going to pay most likely the same every single month. It will be something like your rent, insurance, whether that be car insurance, health insurance, life insurance, etc. Utilities, you always have utilities, even though those can kind of vary from month to month, depending whether it's summer or winter, what the weather is like, how much you're using. And then you'll want to come up with your variable expenses. So these are things that can change. It could be like how much you spend on your clothes, how much you spend on food, how much you spend on general entertainment if you're wanting to go to the big football or baseball game. Those are variable expenses that can change, and a lot of the times you can kind of make lifestyle habits to reduce those. Sometimes they're just going to be there no matter what, like your gas. You obviously have to use your car in a lot of cases to get to work or go to the gym, so you're going to have to fill up with gas. But sometimes you can make some slight habits to perhaps reduce that. So once you find all of your expenses, I want you to tally up what all of those are. What I'd really like for you to do is go back to either your credit card statement if you make most of your purchases on your credit card, or if you pay some of your expenses with cash, go back and figure out how much you're spending. Write all of your expenses down, and then I want you to deduct the expenses from what you bring in, and that will be kind of what your net total is at the end of the month. Okay, so let's see that you bring up your net total and it comes up to 0 or very close to 0. So obviously, if you're watching this video or if it's like that, you're probably not really saving that much. So you're probably saying, Josh, what can I do to possibly save? I'm not making enough money, I'm spending exactly what I'm making. What can I do here? What I would really focus on here are your variable expenses. What are you doing as far as entertainment goes? Is there anything that you can take out? Are you going out every single weekend and spending $100 at the bar? Is there anything from your variable expenses that you can reduce so then you have a little bit of wiggle room there? Another thing you can do is look at your rent. Maybe you're paying too much. Maybe you could get a roommate. Or maybe you could look at a different area in town or a different apartment complex. Maybe there's another one that doesn't have all the cool amenities like a gym and stuff like that you're paying up a little bit for it. If you have a mortgage and you're locked in, there's really not much you can do there. But again, I would look at those variable expenses and see if there's anything that you can reduce there. Thirdly, I would always, especially if you're not saving anything, cook your food at home. You can cook it for so much cheaper. You can cook a meal for as cheap as $2, maybe priciest up to $10. If you go to a restaurant, you're most likely going to be spending $20 or so. Possibly a little bit less depending on where you go. I'm a huge fan of Chipotle, which isn't too pricey, but again, I can make the same food at home that I eat at Chipotle. Rice, chicken, beans, stuff like that, a nice bowl, nutritious for a fraction of the price of what I'm paying at Chipotle. So I would, for the most part, eat your meals at home. Definitely not a bad thing if you do want to go out every once in a while on the weekend, but try to keep that price reduced. You don't always have to go to the most expensive restaurants. And for the most part, I would definitely just cook all of your food at home. Fourth tip, I would definitely look into finding a high yield savings account. You won't believe the current savings account you might have might be earning you a very, very, very low interest on what you have in there. And yeah, you may not have a lot to save. You may not have 20,000, 30,000, or even a couple of hundred to save. But if you have a little bit extra, you can put in your savings account. It can definitely make a big difference. I would recommend finding at least an account that has a 2% or close to 2% interest rate. Some accounts have a minimum balance that you have to put in there, so not everyone is going to have that minimum balance. Once you do start building some savings, I would definitely look to start putting some of that money in an account that earns close to 2% interest, and I will link some of those accounts in the description below, some of the recommendations that I have right now. And of course, that's January 2020, so things can change, probably will change, so just be on the lookout for that. My fifth tip here is what I call the 24-hour rule, and this is personally what I think has helped me the most. Now, the 24-hour rule is, let's say that you're out at TJ Maxx or the mall and you see this shirt that you absolutely have to have, or the new pair of sneakers that you love and go perfectly with your outfit, or maybe you want to buy tickets to a big game. No matter what you're into, you might see something and just instinctively you're like, I gotta have it right now. Well, sometimes you buy those things and then the next day you're like, do I really need this? So because of that, I really recommend to, if you see something that you really like, don't buy it right then and there. Wait 24 hours, and if in 24 hours you still really want it and it fits it within that budget that you have set up for yourself, then go get it. But if not, most likely, a lot of the time, 24 hours will pass and you'll say, the shoes really weren't that great. I probably won't get them. I don't really have the room in my budget this month, and yeah, better just not to get them. Well, those are my 5 tips for savings. I really do hope that it helps you out. If it did, please give this video a like. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you do have any questions, please leave your question in the comments below. I will answer every single question you guys have. And if you have any personal experiences with savings or anything like that, please leave a comment below as well. Until next time, I will see you guys.